Picture this. A feathered predator, no bigger than a turkey, faces off against prey twice its size in the ancient Gobi Desert. A struggle erupts in clouds of sand. Both animals are buried suddenly by a collapsing dune, their final encounter preserved for 75 million years. This isn't fiction. This actually happened. And the predator in this prehistoric moment? Velociraptor. But here's the twist. Almost everything you think you know about this dinosaur is wrong. Hollywood's monster versus scientific reality. Hollywood sold you a monster. 6 feet tall, scaly skin, pack hunter with near-human intelligence, opening doors, outsmarting humans, the ultimate prehistoric predator. The truth? Even more incredible. The real velociraptor was covered in feathers. It stood barely knee-high to an adult human. It lived in blistering deserts, not tropical jungles. And that famous scene of coordinated pack hunting? Pure fantasy. The actual predator was simultaneously more alien and more familiar than you ever imagined. Who was the real velociraptor? Why has science spent 3 decades correcting our misconceptions? The answer begins with one of paleontology's greatest discoveries in the scorching Gobi Desert exactly 100 years ago. The discovery, 1923. The Gobi Desert. Temperatures soar past 120 degrees Fahrenheit. American paleontologist Roy Chapman Andrews and his team are searching for human ancestors in one of Earth's most hostile environments. They're about to discover something far more spectacular. Team member Peter Kaizen spots something jutting from an ancient sandstone cliff. He starts digging. What emerges changes everything. A complete skull, curved claws, delicate bones preserved in exquisite detail. This creature died 75 million years ago, yet here it lies, as if waiting to tell its story. Henry Fairfield Osborn examines the specimen in 1924 and makes it official. Velociraptor mongoliensis. The name translates to swift thief of Mongolia, derived from Latin words velox, meaning swift, and raptor, meaning robber or plunderer. The name captures the imagination, but the skeleton raises more questions than answers. What was this creature? How did it live? How did it hunt? The answers would take another century to uncover, and some would shock the scientific world. Anatomy, the blueprint of a predator. Let's establish the facts. An adult velociraptor measured 6.5 feet from nose to tail tip. It stood 1.6 feet tall at the hip. Weight ranged between 33 and 43 pounds. For perspective, that's smaller than a Labrador retriever. A large Thanksgiving turkey rivals its size. Your mind is probably rebelling right now. That can't be the door-opening creature from the movies. Correct. The film animals were actually based on Deinonychus, a larger cousin. Filmmakers just preferred the name Velociraptor because it sounded more dramatic. But don't let the size fool you. Pound for pound, Velociraptor was a supremely evolved predator. The skull measured 10 inches in length, long, low, and narrow, with a distinctive upturned snout. This unique profile set it apart from other dromaeosaurids. Inside that skull sat approximately 26 to 28 widely spaced teeth on each side of the upper jaw, with around 28 teeth on each side of the lower jaw. Each tooth curved backward, with serrated edges along the back, perfectly designed for gripping and holding prey. The hands featured 3 fingers, each tipped with curved claws. The first digit bore a particularly large and robust claw. These could grasp and manipulate prey with considerable dexterity. But the most distinctive features were on the feet. The sickle claw, weapon reimagined. On each foot, the second toe bore an enlarged, curved claw, measuring 2.6 inches along its outer edge, held retracted while running like a cat's claw, always kept sharp, always ready. For decades, scientists believed this claw was used in sweeping motions against prey. Dramatic? Absolutely. Accurate? Not quite. Biomechanical studies published in 2005 revealed something unexpected. The claw's structure made it poorly suited for slashing movements. The curve was wrong. The angle was wrong. Wide sweeping motions would have been inefficient and weak. So what was it actually for? Think climbing spikes. Think grappling hooks. Think eagle talons. Velociraptor used these claws to grip and secure prey, leaping onto targets and holding tight. The hand claws provided additional grip. The sickle claws anchored the predator in place, preventing escape during feeding. It wasn't a slashing weapon. It was a biological grappling system. And we know the strategy worked because we found the evidence frozen in stone. The fighting dinosaurs, behavior preserved. 1971, another Mongolian expedition, another scorching desert excavation. Then, someone brushes away sand and stops breathing. Two skeletons, intertwined. A velociraptor and a protoceratops locked together in their final moments. This isn't just a fossil. This is a prehistoric behavioral snapshot. The velociraptor's right arm is held in the protoceratops's powerful beak. The raptor's hand claws are positioned near the herbivore's face. And there, at the protoceratops's throat region, is the velociraptor's sickle claw. Both animals died in this exact position. A sudden sandstorm or collapsing dune buried them instantly, preserving their encounter for 75 million years. Paleontologists call it the fighting dinosaurs. It's considered one of the most important fossils ever discovered. Why? Because it's a snapshot of behavior, direct evidence of hunting strategy, proof that even small predators could engage with prey their own size, though not without significant risk. The protoceratops defended itself vigorously. It held the raptor's arm in its beak. Had the encounter continued, who knows which animal would have prevailed? The sandstorm ended it for both, but science gained invaluable insights. This fossil confirms what biomechanical studies suggested. Velociraptor was a grip and hold predator, using its sickle claws as anchors during feeding. But here's what makes this even more remarkable. The velociraptor was hunting alone. Social behavior, separating fact from fiction. Hollywood loves showing velociraptors as pack hunters, coordinating attacks with tactical precision, communicating with complex vocalizations, working as a team to bring down massive prey. It makes for great cinema. But where's the evidence? Here's the uncomfortable truth. We have zero fossil evidence of velociraptor pack hunting. None. The fighting dinosaurs shows a solitary hunter. Every other velociraptor fossil found has been isolated, not part of a group hunting scenario. Compare this to Deinonychus, where we've found multiple individuals associated with a single large prey animal. That's evidence of group hunting. For Velociraptor, nothing like that exists. Does this mean Velociraptor was strictly solitary? Not necessarily. Modern birds show every imaginable social structure, from completely solitary to highly social. Velociraptor probably fell somewhere on that spectrum, possibly gathering in loose groups at food sources or during mating seasons. But coordinated pack hunting with assigned roles and tactical planning, that's pure speculation dressed up as fact. The reality is probably more mundane. Velociraptor was an opportunistic predator that primarily hunted alone, targeting prey its own size or smaller, and occasionally scavenging when the opportunity arose. Intelligence. Smart, but not genius. Brain size relative to body
Understanding
mass,
the subtle
above
differences
average for
between their
dinosaurs.
brains.
Enlarged regions for problem solving and sensory processing, present. More cognitively capable than most prehistoric reptiles? Absolutely. As smart as the cunning masterminds in Jurassic Park? Not even close. The best modern comparison is chickens or turkeys. Velociraptor was probably about as intelligent as modern ground-dwelling birds. It could learn, it could adapt, it could employ hunting strategies more sophisticated than simple ambush tactics. But it wasn't solving puzzles, testing electric fences, or coordinating elaborate hunts with tactical precision. It was a clever predator, operating on instinct refined by millions of years of evolution. That's still impressive. Modern birds can learn, use tools, and solve problems. Velociraptor likely had similar cognitive abilities. It could remember successful hunting grounds, recognize individual prey animals, and adapt its behavior based on experience. Just don't expect it to open doors. Feathers, the revolution. Now we arrive at perhaps the biggest revelation about Velociraptor, the discovery that fundamentally changed how we view this predator. 2007. Scientists examining a Velociraptor forearm fossil noticed something unusual: small bumps along the bone. These aren't random imperfections. They're quill knobs, the exact same attachment points found on modern bird wing bones, where feathers anchor to the skeleton. This is direct, undeniable proof. Velociraptor had feathers. Not just fuzzy down, structured pennaceous feathers, the stiff kind with a central shaft and branching barbs. Feathers on the arms arranged like bird wings. Almost certainly feathers covering much of the body. Why did a flightless predator need feathers? Temperature regulation tops the list. The Gobi Desert 75 million years ago experienced extreme temperature swings, scorching days, freezing nights. Feathers provided insulation against both extremes, adjustable to either retain heat or allow cooling. Display behaviors represent another crucial function. Modern birds use feathers for species recognition, courtship displays, and territorial warnings. Velociraptor's feathers were likely brightly colored or patterned, possibly different between males and females. The arm feathers could have provided stability during sharp turns and rapid movements. Many modern birds also use their feathered arms to cover eggs while brooding, suggesting similar behavior in Velociraptor. The discovery of feathers didn't just change how Velociraptor looked. It changed how we understood its entire biology, behavior, and relationship to modern birds. This wasn't a scaly reptile. It was something in between, a transitional form linking dinosaurs to birds. Environment: the Cretaceous Desert.
I know, right?
To understand Velociraptor, we must understand its world.
How long did this take
The
to assemble?
Jadakta Formation of
When we look at
Mongolia
the
preserves an
skeletal
ancient desert
Velociraptor what we
ecosystem
see
from
is
the
a
late
true
Cretaceous
marvel of
period,
evolution.
approximately
Perfect predatory
75 to
design.
71 million years ago. This wasn't the lush, humid jungle often shown in movies. Velociraptor lived in an arid environment characterized by sand dunes, occasional oases, and seasonal water sources. The climate was hot and dry, with temperatures that could soar during the day and plummet at night. Velociraptor shared its environment with diverse species. Protoceratops was abundant, making it a common prey animal. The massive predator Tarbosaurus, a close relative of Tyrannosaurus rex, was the apex predator and would have posed a significant threat to Velociraptor. Other inhabitants included the Ankylosaur pinacosaurus, the ornithomimid Gallimimus, and various small mammals and lizards. The skies were patrolled by pterosaurs. The fossil record even preserves evidence of ancient streams and lakes that periodically formed in this otherwise arid landscape. Hunting strategy: predator in action. What and how did Velociraptor eat? The teeth, while small, were perfectly adapted for a carnivorous diet. The serrations helped grip food, and the backward curve prevented prey from escaping once held. Biomechanical studies reveal surprising limitations in jaw structure. The bite force was relatively weak compared to other predatory dinosaurs of similar size. This suggests Velociraptor relied more on its claws for securing prey and used its teeth primarily for feeding. The preferred prey size was likely animals smaller than itself or juveniles of larger species. Small mammals, lizards, and young dinosaurs would have been ideal targets. The fighting dinosaurs fossil shows that Velociraptor could engage with prey its own size, but such encounters were risky. Evidence suggests Velociraptor may have been an opportunistic feeder, scavenging when possible. In the harsh desert environment, a predator couldn't afford to pass up easy meals. Carrion from animals that died from other causes would have supplemented the diet. Growth and life cycle. Recent studies of Velociraptor bone microstructure reveal fascinating details about development. Like modern birds, Velociraptor had a relatively rapid growth rate compared to many reptiles. Analysis of growth rings in bones suggests Velociraptor reached adult size in approximately 3 to 4 years. During this time, young raptors would have been vulnerable to predation and needed to quickly develop survival skills. Juvenile Velociraptor fossils show proportionally larger eyes and heads compared to adults, typical features of young animals. The sickle claw was present from an early age, but grew continuously throughout life, becoming more formidable as the animal matured. Comparisons with modern birds and other dinosaurs suggest at least some level of nest attendance and protection of young. The rapid growth rate would have minimized the vulnerable juvenile period, a crucial survival strategy in a dangerous prehistoric world. Legacy: from desert hunter to cultural icon. The impact of Velociraptor on popular culture cannot be overstated. The 1993 film Jurassic Park catapulted this relatively obscure dinosaur into global stardom. However, the movie's depiction was actually based more on Deinonychus, though the filmmakers preferred the name Velociraptor for its dramatic appeal. This created a fascinating paradox. Velociraptor became one of the most recognizable dinosaurs in the world, yet most people's mental image of it is fundamentally incorrect. The real animal was smaller, feathered, and lived in a completely different environment than its cinematic counterpart. In recent years, paleontologists have worked to correct these misconceptions, but the cultural image persists. This highlights an important lesson about science communication. Memorable but inaccurate portrayals can be incredibly difficult to overcome, even with solid evidence. Today, Velociraptor serves as a powerful symbol of how our understanding of dinosaurs has evolved. The discovery of feathers, the refinement of hunting behavior theories, and the detailed reconstruction of its environment all demonstrate how paleontology is a dynamic, constantly advancing field. The truth is better than fiction. So here we are, the truth about Velociraptor, a turkey-sized, feathered predator living in a harsh desert 75 million years ago. Armed with specialized adaptations, hunting alone or in loose groups, smart but not genius-level intelligent. It's not what Hollywood showed you. It's something better: reality. The real Velociraptor tells us something profound about evolution, about how life adapts and survives, about the deep connections between extinct creatures and the animals alive today. When you look at a modern bird, you're not seeing something vaguely related to dinosaurs. You're seeing a living dinosaur, a direct descendant of creatures that shared the world with Velociraptor. The swift thief of the Cretaceous may be long extinct, but its legacy lives on in every feathered creature that takes to the sky. Every chicken, every crow, every eagle alive today shares ancestry with this desert predator. That's more remarkable than any movie monster could ever be. The truth about Velociraptor isn't a disappointment. It's an invitation to see the prehistoric world as it actually was. Stranger, more beautiful, and more interconnected with our modern world than we ever imagined.